Good morning, Canadian Yarn Horde. My name is Alyssa. That's Willow. We have some construction just outside the window today, so I do apologize if you're going to hear that. I am going to start today with this fingerless glove. It is going to be knit and crochet. I've been working with a little bit of ideas. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, where especially with faux fur is very, very thick. I do like knitting it. It goes a lot further. So I'm going to move you. Oh, that was Vader. So I am going to move you over to the overhead cam and we'll get started. As I said, if you can hear the construction, I do apologize. They are tearing up my road. Today's apparently going to be a very loud day. So I do apologize. He's literally right outside my window right now. So let's just get moved over and we'll see how it goes. All right. So this is going to be a little different on the yarn front. Let me see. I don't know if I have that gray ball near me right now. So I do have, where is that? There it is down there. Where's the label? There it is. So I am going to be using a certain kind of yarn for this, but I just wanted to show, I mean, it was in the label, but I have been using this ball. It is a lot bigger. It is from the dollar store. I did pay $4.25 for it. This could easily substitute this yarn. I honestly do not remember where I bought this yarn from. It does say hand wash only, do not tumble dry, do not bleach, all that. It recommends a 10mm hook, or a needle and hook, and it may be dry cleaned. I am going to use a 6mm, and we're going to cast on with a 6mm hook and onto my 6mm needles. Now, these are Susan Bates. I will link them in the description below. They are my absolute favorite needles. They work really, really well. The other yarn I am using is yet again from the dollar store. This one is from Dollar Tree. I think these are $2. This is a just chenille, and this is where I crochet up. So just to show the yarn, this one is a super bulky. It recommends an 8mm and an 8mm. We are actually going to use the 6mm hook, and then we are going to go down to a 5mm hook at that spot. Now, I did want to say, do not forget you need to make 2 of these. And this was something I've wanted to do for a little while, is combine the 2 in a really nice, especially fingerless glove, because fingerless gloves are really, really nice to wear when it's cold, and this will be really, really super warm. So we're going to get started. I'm going to put on a slip knot on my chenille, or this is called Chinchilla. I've had it for a very long time now. I don't even remember if I got it at Len's Mills, or if I got it at Michael's, or if I got it at True North Yarn Company. I just know I've got 4 balls of it, and I've wanted to work with it, and I thought hats and fingerless gloves would be a really great solution for them. And we're going to cast on 24. So chenille and these faux fur yarns are very difficult to work with, but you're just gonna, they're a lot easier to knit with. And I do have to say, after that first row transitions, I think I end up with too many chenille, and I decrease in a couple of rows just because you can't see where you're putting anything. So I'm going to cast on my 24, and I will be back. And as always, there's 23 stitches on here, and you put the 4th one on with the hook. So now we are going to do a 1 row repeat for 4 rows. You are going to knit straight for 4 rows, or also known as garter stitch. So you're just going to knit just like that. Now I'm going to do the 4 rows. I will come back and I will show you what we do next. Okay, so I do have it done. So your next step is going to be crocheting it off. Now, what you want to do is you want to go underneath there in the right spot. There we go. And pull off. And you're going to go under the next one. And you're going to pull it off. And then you're going to crochet those two together. So you're going to do that again. Pull off and crochet the two together. And you're going to do that all the way across. So I did want to say, if you are a new viewer, thank you very much for coming. I very much appreciate it. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. I very much appreciate that. I do hope to earn your like and subscription. I would love to hear from you in the comments or with any comments, questions, or concerns you have below. I do find this is a very nice pattern when I put them on. It's just so nice to wear. They're nice and soft. I have made a hat out of this as well. I'll be showing later. So I did make a hat with this chenille. I had a partial ball, and this one, I know I have more kicking around, but so it can make at least probably a pair of these gloves without needing another ball. The faux fabric, the faux yarn, yet again, you'll need about one ball. And if you're going to make a hat, I would recommend getting a second ball in the same color. I'm going to be trying to get some of that faux fur tonight so I can make some fingerless gloves to go with that particular one. I also have to say, when sizing, it is important. I do try to, especially this, a good way to size your arm. For this one, I put both my arms on it when I got the size, so I went like that because you do wrap it around. So it's going to be about there. So as you can see, from end to end, it should fit. That is a great way to measure approximately where you're going to have the fingerless gloves on your arm. It may end up there, it may not, but it is a great way to know if it'll fit because that's a great sizing way. Trying it on your body, trying to make it fit for yourself first is important. And then your last stitch. And there you go. Now, you aren't going to be needing these needles anymore. And we can trim off the faux fur, leaving a bit of a tail to sew up at the end. Come on. There we go. Now, you're not going to pull that through. You're going to grab the second yarn you're using, which for me is chenille. And you're going to come up through. You want to pull that tight. Chain one. I do like to only chain one. And then you want to feel. This is all about feel now. And try not to get too many, but if you do, you can decrease them. Now, as I said, I did cast on too many, and I could see it. It was starting to flop when you held it up. So when I would hold it up like this, it would start to ripple effect, which tells you you've got too many on. So I started trying to decrease a bit. I'm hoping I don't do the same mistake this time. And I can get each and every stitch in the right spot. I didn't have great lighting for the last one, but it is something that can happen. And it is easy enough to fix if you have to. It's not that hard to decrease a row or two, and with chenille yarns like this, it will make them very easy to fix. Another way is count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 14. And wherever possible, always try to make sure that's not a knot so it doesn't mess your work up later on, because they can come out in your work. 14, 15, 16, 17. Don't know if I'm counting right. me do another count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'm going to leave it at 23, giving me one less stitch, which is all right because you want it to start coming in a bit. So now you're just going to single crochet for 4 inches, just like this. And then I will come back after I've done that and I will show you what the next stage is. Okay, so I have my 4 inches. And because I have the other one, I do measure just to make sure you're getting the right. Alrighty, I did mess that up, but I am gonna use a 4.5. Apparently I grabbed my 5, not my 6. So I'm just gonna grab my 4.5. So I do get a smaller one up here. So now you're gonna do this for 2 inches. On these stitches, on this needle, needle size. So as I said, 4.5, and I'm just going to continue on until this measures 6 inches. So I will be back when I have my 6 inches, and I will show you how I finish it off and sew it up. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I'm going to go back 1, simple loop. We're going to trim this, but make sure you leave a bit of a tail because you're going to want to sew up the seam with that. And you're going to grab your mink yarn, which actually is 100% polyester, and so is the chenille, which will make a really, really good hand fingerless gloves. Because the polyester is actually a fiber that is known to retain warmth. It is the next best to wool. So this is a really good one for keeping your hands warm. And with the two of them together, it's just so soft. And it just feels so, so nice on your hands. Even working it up is a nice pleasure. I mean, if you're looking for a really good quick pattern, quick project. I think it's taken me, it's 10:30. I started this at, I think I started it at 9 this morning doing the first one. So basically with filming and everything else, it's taken me about 2 hours to do both of them. And it is such a nice, when you put it on, it's just so very nice to have that for your hands. So I did want to say that for the polyester. I have been learning more about the fibers and what's good for what and where you use certain fibers for where. And I know that polyester is a really good one for retaining heat. So now that you're done that one single row, you don't want more than that. Trim your yarn. And now what you're going to do is you're going to darn it in. So you're going to take the needle. And for this one, you just kind of want to sew this two together and just loop it and maybe do a second. No, that's not going to sit right. There we go. And you just kind of make sure that the faux fur is nice and tight. And then you're just going to go down the faux fur line. And then if you want to come back and double back on yourself, and that should keep it from coming undone on you. And you just trim the yarn. Now this faux fur, this chinchilla yarn is really nicely done. It's almost sewn in. The dollar store one isn't. It is done the exact same way. So I think they just take a band and they sew it on. And honestly, if you're going to do faux fur, it is the best way to do faux fur. Now, if you did notice, I did keep the stitch marker in here for my second glove because it's a great measurement tool. That is where you know you changed. So just in case you don't have you know, you lose track of where you're actually going to change your stitches. What you want to do now is bring your yarn down, and you're going to go right there. And yet again, I will loop that. And now I'm going to take this one out because I'm done. But if you're going to make the second one, I do recommend leave it in so you know exactly where you did the increase in stitch in the needle increase. Now that fell off. You're just going to follow the seam down. And these are so lovely to wear. This is a very nice chenille, I have to admit. It's actually, in my opinion, a little bit nicer than Bernat. This velvet only because I don't think it falls apart as much. The other one of this chenille, the Premier, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a multicolor, isn't as great in my opinion, but I do like this particular chenille from Premier Just Basics, or Just Chenille, sorry. The Basics is a different yarn. I do like the Premier yarns. I do wish we could get them more than just at the dollar store because our dollar store is limited, but I do also want to say, if you have multiple Dollar Trees in your area or you're able to go to a different town and you're like, oh, it's a Dollar Tree, I have one in my town, they may actually have a different selection. We have multiple Dollar Trees up here where I live, and always go to the two of them because they don't always carry the same colors. They don't always carry the same variations. So sometimes it does pay to just check a different dollar store. They might actually have a different color set, stock, all that kind of thing. So now this one is going to be, I want it to come out, and we're going to darn it in. And then bring it out back because this is going to be the side that we flip it on. I hadn't flipped this one yet because I still had the stitch marker in it. So there's the one. And as you can see, it tapers in. And it is a very nice wear because it's a very nice fitted glove. I like to wear very nice fitted fingerless gloves so they aren't loose and falling off you, especially in cold weather. So you're just going to try and stitch up this side, trying to keep the two ends together. I understand chenille, this faux fur is not your friend for sewing up, but do the best you can. Try to find what loops you can. And then, oh, there we go. That one is in something because I had to really pull it. And then do one more. And then I like to use the other sides, because as you see, I have a secondary tail. I want to make sure it has a chance to actually, there we go, tighten up as well. And that way you know it shouldn't be able to come apart on you. So you want to make sure you grab there and there. And because I'm looping them, I want that a little more. So I'm going to grab a little bit more of the stitch. And then I'll loop it. And there we go. And now I'm going to go up. And we're just going to darn in these ends. And I will just show you in just a second what they look like on. And there's your project. Moves that way. And both of these yarns are a very nice treat to work with. Just kind of work this side in. Push it through. always try to do that last pull there, if you just noticed where I went like that, especially when you're darning in the tails. That way you can get a really nice accurate cut. So there you have it. There they are. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again. Bye.